It's time to get metal. Today I'm going to run to the brand new Venom Prison album. It's called Erebos. You might remember, I think it might have been 2 years ago, I listened to Venom Prison for the first time doing a run and it blew my mind. So I'm really looking forward to diving into this brand new album and seeing what it has to offer, how it's going to make me run. You know it's going to be fast, so let's get going. And the watch is on, the music's on and we're off. Come on, go, 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 go. Drums are shaking the floorboards. Your plumbing has turned into the skeletal orchestra. The central heating is possessed and the insurance company are no longer answering your phone calls. We are summoning Erebos, darkness itself, a being more chaotic than I am. At 6 AM when I'm asking Alexa what came first, the bicep or the tribal tattoo. Judges of the underworld has this astonishing mix of low-end chunky riffs and squelchy lead guitar parts. It's got a centrifugal force so strong it feels like Spotify can start spewing money into my ears at any moment. This is incredible. The song's gone through so many changes and she's asking, are you the oppressor or the oppressed? This song, I don't know, it talks about division. It wants to know what side you're on, and the music, it builds this tension and then it kind of finds a moment of release and then it goes again. You grow up in this world full of violence and then society casts its verdict on you, and when you finally snap you show signs of schizophrenia. Society is the one telling you you are guilty. Oh, it's just riff after riff. Whoa! Judges of the underworld, it ends with this kind of, it sounds like an alarm, a siren going off, and for a brief moment you feel like you've escaped the suffocating clutch of society itself. And then Nemesis seems to pick up that thread, that story of someone escaping, and there's such a wonderful play on words. I am the damaged one, you deserve the damage done. Oh wow, there are moments where the lead guitars sound like rain on a grave, the riffs sound like shovels of soil thrown aside, and the vocals, they just bubble like lava. Kafka said, a book is the axe for the frozen sea inside us. Venom Prison are the jackhammer for all that hidden anger you had no idea was deep inside you. Oh, anger's powering me up this hill. Run into this, I feel like the Stay Puffed Marshmallow Man, but instead of water, gelatin and sugar holding me together. It's fury, chaos and TripAdvisor results from the bowels of hell itself. You really need to give this album a listen. I think I'm on like the third or fourth song, and just the way the music is switching, there's moments of beauty in there, there's real terror in there, and it's all done effortlessly. It's genius. Where's this going? Where's it going? Oh yes, that is one hell of a groove. Oh my god, I absolutely do not understand how bands can write stuff like this. I get confused sometimes if I track a fourth chord in a song. Oh, what is going on? That line there and the accompaniment of these guitars of bear witness to the great divide. It's incredibly moving. It's a song about normal families being criminalised and torn apart. How the illiterate and stupid are controlling the world, and the way the music and the lyrics and vocals combine, this song's got real power over you. It forces you to look at the world as it really is, and just at that moment when you're about to break because all that pain and sadness has been shoved in your face, the song changes vibe. It elevates you and it leaves you sobbing on a mountaintop above the world. It's immediately followed by this beautiful and sad song named after the goddess of misery and grief, and there's this fantastic bit where there's a lyric that says you've gone past the point of no return, and at that moment there's a bit of backwards drumming to show musically as well that there is no turning back, no matter how much we want to do that. The love I have for this band is off the scale, right? If I was in a band and I ever got asked to support them, I'd say no. I'd be so embarrassed to play my stupid music in front of these. This song, just listen to it. It's an album that seems full of grief and pain, but kind of, you have to deal with it, you have to sit through, you have to listen to this, and something happens to you. It makes you stronger, dealing with all those things you usually avoid. It makes you feel powerful, I don't know. It's like the best pep talk ever. When I was a professional athlete, I used to sleep in an altitude tent to make my lungs bigger. Now that I'm a grown adult, I listen to Venom Prison to make my heart bigger. Yes, that right there is a magical moment. Bow to no one, off your knees. I find peace in the rougher seas. That's what you need. Write it out, put on a post-it note, stick it on your fridge, read it every day. The second half of the album takes on this futuristic quality with some UFO-sized synths, and is talking about the false promises of media. I don't know, fake news hangs from the trees like forbidden apples. This is evil vitamin C. This is mind control on a grand scale. It sounds terrifying, doesn't it? Well, that's the world we're living in today. There's so much here which is surprising, and an album which talks about the dangers of a rotten, a stagnant mind. It makes you want to have as healthy a brain as possible, because this music is so adventurous. It seems to move the parameters, and you want to be strong enough to explore it all. It makes you want to do better. That's what this album does. Next time I run to Venom Prison, I need a snorkel. I feel like I'm drowning in my own sweat. Honestly, Gorgon Sisters might be the most exciting song I've ever run to, and we're learning about all this division caused in the world by white men, and we're wondering what made them so angry. Those in power seem to be doing their best to lower us all to their standard of stupidity. We are born out of chaos, and that's okay, because where there's chaos, things are plentiful. And she says that I find peace in a rougher sea, but what's happening is society is making decisions for us, and by doing that they are making the world barren, less fertile. And there's lines there about scrubbing the walls of the uterus or something, and we are damaging the world because we seem terrified of chaos. But chaos is good. It's better than the alternative. The ending of Veil of Night. Oh my word. Oh my word. Those guitar lines under the vocal. The beauty of life is that we all have to die. Wow, didn't expect to find a magical moment with a line like that. Oh, it's amazing. What I'm thinking is that on this album it's presented that society is constantly telling us how to live our lives, when the only thing that should really tell us what to do or decide or influence our decisions is the certainty of death. And this album seems to finish with songs about death from two perspectives. It feels like someone who's died naturally and they look beautiful, they look like themselves. And then there's someone, I think, who's been murdered in an electric chair. It shows that the tendrils of power know no limits. What an album, what great run. Let me turn this off. Turn it off. Do you know what? I felt like the song, when I first listened to it, I felt like it could have ended on Veil of Night. I thought that was a really nice way to end the album, but then Technologies of Death, I think that's the last one's called. Wow. That just shows like how much thought has gone into the album, okay, because it really, like Veil of Night felt like, oh, this is a really good way to end the album, where death is kind of comforting, and then the last song just comes and it summons Erebos again, and you have this feeling at the end where it gets really beautiful, some beautiful strings, and you have this, I know, like the supernatural and mythical overcomes the technology which is kind of present throughout the album, this terrifying technology which leads to like brainwashing, brain rot. And there's no accident the songs are named after, lots of songs are named after mythical beings, mythical creatures, and that kind of magic really wins at the end of the album. It really triumphs, just absolutely astonishing, really tells this fascinating story that it requires a lot of listens. Album. That was Erebos by Venom Prison. I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. That is just on another level. Music like that, lyrically, everything on another level. Listen to it. I'm a running punk. You should be running punk too. Love you. Bye.